Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, the Nigerian Petroleum Industry Administration Bill 2017 seeks to provide for a new legal framework for the administration of the upstream, downstream, midstream sectors of the Nigerian petroleum industry. It seeks to provide effective administration of the entire industry and to open up the industry for investment and growth. Therefore, this law has the capacity to create the much desired expansion of the industry by unleashing an inflow of new entrants into the petroleum operations, which will be accompanied by substantial new investments and overall transformation of Nigerian oil and gas industry.
On petroleum host communities. The cost of registration of the petroleum host community associations will be borne by the relevant communities, while the running cost of the National Committee on Petroleum Host will be deducted from the funds payable to the petroleum host communities, payable by the petroleum producing companies. Therefore, no funds are needed to be appropriated by this National Assembly for funding of host community associations and National Committee on Petroleum Host Communities. Mr. President, my very distinguished colleagues, let me conclude by stating that this bill proposes a clear, focused, effective, and robust legal framework for managing and funding host community development in Nigeria.
Part 1 deals with the objectives of the bill, while Part 2 provides for the administration of the bill, adjustment factors, and special products. It also contains provisions for frontier acreages and ultra-deep water. Part 3 stipulates a new requirement for all petroleum companies to pay companies income tax under the Companies Income Tax Act. Part 4 and Part 5 provide for rent, royalties, and tax. Part 6 provides for the various payments and allocation systems to regulate the production sharing contracts and other contracts. Part 7 and 8 respectively contain the miscellaneous provisions and the repeals, transitional and savings provisions. Highlights of the provisions of the bill. The following are the key highlights of this bill. The bill makes provision for the fiscal terms and...
The bill is referred to the Joint Committee on Petroleum, Upstream, Downstream, and Gas report back in August. I thank you, the members of the distinguished senators, on your comments here. This bill now at the committee level, please kindly ensure that we involve all stakeholders so that their contributions can let us have a bill that is acceptable and implementable. And the whole purpose of us doing it now, so that over the recess period, work can be done. The principle, as we agreed, must be a win-win, where government will win and also the stakeholders and investors will win. And as you rightly said, it must be, we cannot, as Nigeria, be in isolation. We must think about it. It is a very competitive environment, and it's a bill that will bring investors into the country. Thank you. Leader of the Senate.